Hey y'all, and welcome to Monner's Market, and welcome to some good old farmhouse DIYs. I got a little bit bored with the monotony of the coastal and nautical series and the bee and sunflower stuff, so I just wanted to go back to my roots and do just some good old farmhouse DIYs. Now, these DIYs that I made will go in my kitchen that I just remodeled a couple of months ago. And I have seen a few people doing these types of things, and it's been several different ones. So I don't really want to mention anybody in particular because honestly, I don't remember who they were. But this is my take. This is DIY number one, and these are these little cloches. I guess I'm saying that right. Easiest thing in the world to make. Super affordable. And literally everything that I used I got from the Dollar Tree. So I took this ivory chalk paint from Waverly, and that's what I'm going to use throughout this whole thing. And these two cloches, and then these little knobby things here, and a couple of the candlesticks that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I will also use these two the pig and the cow that I got from the Dollar Tree quite a while back. And some E6000 for that permanent hold. And then my good old hot glue for that temporary hold. So I literally just went through real quick and gave everything a coat of the ivory paint. Actually, I think I gave it 2 coats of the ivory paint. So once I got everything painted and it dried, I decided to go in with some ribbon that you can get from the Dollar Tree, and it's called Farmhouse ribbon, and go around the edges of each one of these candles. Now the bottom of the cloche container would not fit on top of this candle holder without going down over it a good way. So what I ended up having to do is take the bottom off and flip it upside down. And once I did that, it worked perfectly. And I was able to glue it onto the candlestick with the E6000 and the hot glue, and it held just fine. Now here's me prematurely putting some of this reindeer moss in there and getting ahead of myself because I hadn't even finished with the decoration. So I took this spackling from the Dollar Tree and tried to fill them holes in, and I guess I just didn't use enough. Well, then you're going to see me in just a little bit. Oh, and I also used this truffle chalk paint from Waverly to distress everything down, because y'all know I got to distress everything. So, but anyway, you will see me in just a few minutes trying to take some hot glue and put it through the hole of those little beads, because I wanted to cover up that hole to put on the top of the cloche container. Well, what I did is that hot glue came through the tip end of that daggum bead and burnt the snot out of my finger. So you will see me holding on to a soda can for pretty much the rest of the video, because our ice maker's broke right now and I didn't have any ice, so I had to keep get my tongue untied, keep swapping out the Coke cans to keep my finger cooled down, because when I tell you I burnt the snot out of it. So anyway, this is me just distressing everything down. And like I said, I will go in with some of the ribbon from the Dollar Tree and put it around the edge of this one. And then I'm going to take some twine and also go around it. Now on the other one, I'm going to put this ribbon around it, but then I'm just going to put a little, what is it called? A burlap rose. So they are a little bit different. And then I did put different tops on each one of the cloche toppers. I put a little bean pod on one and just a little bead on the other, just to give them a little bit of, difference and make sure they weren't completely uniform. So this is what you're seeing me do now. But I'm taking that and making me a little bow. And I'm going to put the bow on there, but then I'm going to make me some strings with this twine and sort of hang it down from the bottom of that. Just something to add a little bow right there is all I was doing. So anyway, this was like super duper quick, super duper easy. And everything that I'm filling this up with came from the Dollar Tree. You will see me put some reindeer moss in the bottom. And then just different picks that I had on hand. I think the baby's breath actually did come from Walmart. And I will use that baby's breath in a couple of different of these DIYs today. But this is me just putting that ribbon around the outside edge, waiting for that glue to dry, and then adding my little rose. And I thought that one turned out super cute. Really, really cute. I love how these turned out. So I just took that hot glue and put some more of that reindeer moss down in there. And then just started filling it up with different picks that I had. And I love the way they turned out. I thought they just turned out adorable. Dropped my little pig kept falling out. I was only going to do some green in the beginning. And it just wasn't enough because I like to be extra and I like my things to be extra. So I did go in with some different picks that I had from the Dollar Tree and just kept adding and adding until I got it like I wanted it. And then I just put the top on. Now, I did not glue the top down because I wanted to be able to go in and change this with the seasons or whatever. Or if I had something else that I wanted to showcase, then I wanted to be able to just take the top right off and put something else down in there. The only thing I glued down permanently was this reindeer moss. So that's me just taking the picks and sort of filling in the space with a few picks. And then I'll add my little cow to that one, gather it all together and put the topper on. And I'm telling you, you can't get any easier than this. And I love the way they turned out. This is my little pig one. Isn't it just the cutest? I love him. I'm going to have to name Charlotte. There we go. That was quick and easy. You see the twine going around the bottom there? So that's my version of the one with the pig in it. So I really want to know what you think about this in the comments. But either way, leave me a big thumbs up if you like what you're seeing so far. But that one was my pig one. And then this next one is my little cow one. And those little miniatures were perfect for these little cloche holders or cloche. I don't know what they're called, a cloche. But anyway, I know it's called a cloche, but I don't know what the top part is. Unless, is that it? Is that the cloche? Maybe that is the cloche. So leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think about them and how cute you think they turned out. Because I fell in love with them. And look at them together. Aren't they just adorable? I cannot wait to get them put in my kitchen. These I just threw up on a shelf in the den just to give you a little shot of what they look like. I love them. So now we're just going to jump right on into DIY number 2, which was another super easy DIY. Now, I've seen a bunch of people doing this too. You take these 3 little boxes here with the little drawers in it and 2 of the crates. Now, I couldn't find at the time the crates that were completely closed in. So I went with the crates that had the little holes in them. And then I just started building my little organizer by putting all of them on top. I did use the E6000 for the permanent hold and the hot glue for the temporary hold. I took that same ivory paint and I gave it a really good coat of paint. Now you got to watch where you take them drawers out because those things are not cut evenly at all. Now these stickers right here I got from Walmart for just a couple of dollars. I don't remember how much they were, but they were very cheap. So I took the one that said grains and I just used my truffle paint from Waverly. It's a chalk paint. And, excuse me, I just dabbed it on there until I got it all filled in. And then you'll see that the top line is completely blank. And that almost drove me crazy. So I did go back in and get a different little sticker and put up on top, and it's just some lines. It was just some quick lines that actually mimicked the lines in the bottom down there. I kind of wish I hadn't have done what you see me doing right now, those little patterns in the bottom, because I didn't really care for the way they turned out. But I mean, it is what it is, and I didn't want to have to repaint everything. There you see me doing the lines, and it, like I said, it actually mimics the lines in the little crates and everything, and the little top piece that I'm using there. And I just got it all glued together. Now, I used some beads to put little pulls on the door of this, and I thought they turned out cute. And then on my drawers in the hole, you will see where I used some ribbon for that. So what I did is I just took this piece of ribbon, and I don't even know where I got it from. I've had it for so long. And I cut the little design out and made sure that it was the same design for each little heart. Now, I tried to spin those drawers around so that you couldn't see the hearts, but then the drawers would not go in because, like I said, they are not fully square. So what I did is I took that little piece of lace and put it down on the inside and Mod Podged it there just to give it a little bit of character and close up that hole. And I love it. I love the way it turned out with that little piece of lace behind it. So my idea was to take this Mod Podge and Mod Podge the whole little piece of lace, because once that Mod Podge dries, it's going to harden up that lace and give it a little bit of more pliability, if you will. So I took the Mod Podge and I made sure I covered the front and the back of each piece of lace, and then I put it down inside each one of the drawers right behind the heart, where you have the same little pattern on all three drawers. And I love the way they turned out. I thought they were just as cute as they could be. So once I got my lace down in there, all I had to do now is just assemble everything together once and for all, and then it was as easy as putting the drawer pulls on, and that was the end of it. So I got it all put together, put my little knobbies on there, and that was it. And this is how it turned out, and I stinking love this thing. I thought it was just cute as can be. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to put down in it, but maybe some little packs of sugar or something like that. Maybe, them little tiny creamers or something. That's what I can do. I can put some little pods of coffee down in the bottom. So I'm not a coffee drinker, but some of my guests that come over are. So I can fill those little areas right there we're looking at with a few pods. And then I can put some creamer and sugars and stuff in the top. That's what I'll do. I'll use that in my little coffee bar. See, I just figured it out here talking to y'all. But that is how my DIY number 2 turned out. And I love it. And I want to know what you think about it. So let's jump on into the last DIY number 3 here. And this was just a simple, quick and easy little thing for me to put some stuff in. Now I end up in the end putting some stuff in there, and I'll tell you what it is. But I used those 2 little cubes. I used the one box I was able to find that didn't have the holes in it, and these 2 little jars from the Dollar Tree. 90% of what I am using today in this whole video came from the Dollar Tree. So I just went in and I took my stickers off of everything, and I gave it a coat of the ivory paint. We're going with the same thing that we did on the first 2. Painted everything with the ivory paint and distressed it down with the truffle paint. Now I'm using these little blocks to put in there because once I put my jars down in there, they just about disappeared. And I wanted you to be able to see them sitting out of the top of that box. So that's why I decided to use them little cubes to just lift them up some. I know y'all see me holding on for dear life to that can. I'm laughing now, but son, I was crying last night because oh my gosh, it burnt so bad. And every time I let go of that can, like the fire started again. So I went ahead on and finished painting my blocks and my little crate, and crying and painting and crying and painting. And y'all feel sorry for me yet? Anyway, once I got it done and then used a little truffle to distress it down, that is pretty much all it was, except for putting it together. I just placed the little blocks down in the bottom, and I took that baby's breath and went around and just sort of, placed the baby's breath down in there. And I love the way the baby's breath made it look. So I want you to tell me, would you have left the baby's breath out? Or do you like the way it looks with that baby's breath in there? I happen to love it. But you are not going to hurt my feelings if you don't like it and you think it needs to be scrubbed. So once I got the baby's breath all arranged in there like I wanted it, it was just a little bit too plain. So I took it all back apart, and I went and decided to take some twine and just wrap it around the top of it a couple of times, and then use another one of my little burlap roses. Now this was a completely different burlap rose, came out of a completely different package. So it was just shaped a little bit different, but still the same burlap rose. So it all went together with the theme. And I put that on there, and when I reassembled it, I liked it a whole lot better with that little added touch of the twine and the burlap rose. And that was all there was to it once I got it put back together, and this is what it turned out like. I ended up putting some bouillon cubes in the left and some sugar in the raw packets in the right, just to put something in there to show it off. That's probably not what's going to stay in there, but I did want to fill it up with something to show you what it looked like. So definitely let me know down in the comments which one of these three are your favorite, and give me a big thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. And you can go back into my videos if you're new here and see what else I've done in the past. But this is everything all together, and I love this little vignette of how all of this turned out. So I gotta know what you think about this. But I will see you next Monday, hopefully. I know I'm running a couple days behind the past couple of weeks from being sick, but I am feeling a lot better. I had a small back procedure last Monday, a couple days ago, so that's why I didn't get that Monday video out. But I'm doing a lot better. I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you for all of the prayers that y'all were sending me. I truly felt them, and I do feel much better. I just can't wait to be back 100% again. But I appreciate y'all coming. You know I love you with all my heart, and I love talking to you, so leave me a comment, and I will definitely get back to you as soon as I can. Let me know what you think about me switching it up a little bit and going back to some old farmhouse stuff. I was kind of tickled to see the way everything turned out this week. So, again, thank you for coming. If you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome. What you see is what you get with me. I'm not fancy. I'm not fake. I'm just sometimes a little bit annoying, but hey, you gotta love me, right? My name is Brenda. This is Monner's Market. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. God bless you. See you next week. Bye now.